What's going on, everybody? Devore, G Money, Banks of America, and Havoc. This is the Not for Debate podcast. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and all other major streaming platforms. Be sure to go ahead and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and on our Facebook pages. Today's show, we got bangers as usual. We'll be talking about the Ohio State versus Oregon recap game today this afternoon. Dak Prescott's performance versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And last but not least, we have the Cam Newton response to the Patriots release. Gentlemen, what is good?
Man, I mean, football season's almost here. We're almost there.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. Got tomorrow off, too.
You don't count Thursday? The Cowboys?
I mean I'm talking about the full season is starting, not just the Thursday. I'm talking about the full season because, like, we all knew, like that was an interesting game, but we were all pretty sure what the outcome would be.
I wasn't pretty sure about that outcome. I mean, I knew Buccaneers was going to win, but
I was sure what the outcome was.
Not that close.
Wins and losses, that's all that matters. Wins and losses. And I knew the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was going to win that game.
Not for Banks. They didn't cover, so unfortunately.
Okay, from a betting aspect, yes.
I mean, I lost that game. I'm 0-1 for the week because the Bucs didn't cover the spread. So that's how I'm doing my wins and losses. I'm 0-1 because the Bucs didn't cover the spread. So yeah.
Well, definitely, I gotta redo my bets again since I lost that game, which I could have sworn I took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the over 50, but maybe I pressed the wrong button. Maybe I just pressed the wrong button. Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe you did.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe these high-ranked teams are just doing. Maybe these high-ranked teams are underestimating these underdogs every week, and it's time to start betting with underdogs to the spread.
You know what? To be honest with you, Banks, I think my thought process was it's the first week of the season. Everybody's going to be trying to get their legs under them. Conditioning is going to be a factor. Defenses haven't been playing. Like, I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a week before I start taking the over. And that's probably what I was thinking. But now I'm gonna play it seriously this time. We're gonna definitely get to the Dolphins game probably later on towards the end of the pod. But first things first, Ohio State versus the Oregon Week 2 recap. Obviously, Oregon ended up winning the game versus Ohio State. Any thoughts on the game before
I just thought it was a good game. It was one of those classic college football games that they only won by a touchdown. Anybody could have won this game. I think that Ohio State is still going to have a good year.
So, Greg, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Quinte, turn your TV down a little bit, bro. Mute yourself, Quinte. If you can.
My fault.
No, I was just saying that I thought it was a good game. Only won by a touchdown. It was one of those classic games. I think both teams are going to be well. You might see these two teams play in the playoffs. Are they still doing just 4 teams, or did it go up to 6?
I think they're doing 4 and 2 wild cards now.
4, yeah, wild cards, yeah.
Okay. I can see these 2 teams making the playoffs. But go ahead.
But I mean, the 2 wild cards, it's a sham. Like, it's really like 2 teams, and that's pretty much it. I'll just say I like the fact that there was a game of consequence early on in the college football season, because eventually, with all these conferences disappearing and all the power teams trying to move into one conference, at some point, these powerhouse teams, these bigger teams, they're gonna have to start playing like real teams, because Oregon and Ohio State played this week, but also Alabama played Mercer College. So, I mean, what do you like? Alabama might as well have played Bishop Sycamore. You know what I mean? What's the point of even playing that game? So, hey, man, that's
what typically happens.
Yeah, that's what they do early on. Is they get the cupcakes early on,
They'll
and
have one major game, and then after that major game, they'll have like in the next 2 or 3 games will be like, all right, and then they'll go because at the SEC conference play starts most times starts like week 1, but Alabama doesn't normally start their conference play until like week 4 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to get Alabama. It's going to get crucial for them. It's going to get crucial. It's coming soon.
Yeah. But it was interesting to see Ohio State lose at home. I don't remember the last time I seen them lose at home, opening weekend. But hey, man, it's about time, guys. You got to start putting some respect on Oregon. But also, Oregon needs to stop. Oregon needs to leave the West Coast and start playing some teams in some other geographic regions of the country. I like seeing them go to Ohio State.
Yeah, nobody gets to see them play that much unless they play in their top team.
Yeah. So it's good to see them leave the West Coast and actually play a real team. And, hopefully, maybe they'll make it out more to the South and start playing, the more of the Alabamas, go to East Coast, play the Clemsons, things of that nature.
LSU, yeah.
Yeah. That being said, I don't watch college football.
Yeah. Well, Oregon. First off, Oregon. Hats off to them. I mean, it was getting kind of tight in that second half, especially the fourth quarter. And credit to them again playing in Ohio. That's 100,000+ people in that stadium. Whenever you do get a packed stadium, it's gonna be packed. That's 100,000 screaming at you all game, bro, and that's pressure. You can actually tell that I believe the home field advantage started to really rattle them in the fourth quarter. Honestly, they were starting to make a lot of turnovers. They were just going backwards, and it's kind of good that they ended it when they ended it with that interception, because I believe if Ohio State was somehow able to extend that drive, they were going to go in overtime and Ohio State was going to win, because the momentum has shifted big time. But Oregon also provided a blueprint for a lot of teams. Though it's going to be hard to beat Ohio State. Like I'm not a big Ohio State supporter at all. Like they're probably one of my most hated teams in college. But Oregon just provided a blueprint on how to beat Ohio State if people pay attention. You're going to have to, which is key in college football, you're going to have to stop the run with Ohio State. If you can stop Ohio State from running, getting over 100 yards, because if you pay attention to it, Ohio State has always had some really good running backs to keep them in the game. And this game, Oregon's just smothering them. They were just all over it. And they put the game in the quarterback, Strapz. I can't remember his first name right now, but Strapz put it in his hand.
CJ
Strapz had a
Stroud.
really good game. He had a big game. He played really well. If you look at his numbers, I think he had over 400 yards passing and everything. So he did really well.
Almost 500 yards passing, 484.
Yeah. But it was a couple of throws he missed. He should have made that would have put him over the top.
Yeah, but that's gonna come with time. I mean, it's better with Ohio State to lose now than later in the year. A lot of teams would rather lose right now because you're not going to shift that much in the standings and the brackets or anything. You're not going to shift that hard.
Right.
I tell you one thing though, aside from Ohio State and the Oregon game, I know one team that definitely doesn't need to be in the top 5 in terms of the top 5 teams, maybe not even top 10. And that's Texas A&M, the Aggies. They don't deserve to be in the top 10 whatsoever.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
I hope they fall out. But credit to Oregon though. Credit to Vardell. He played, bro. He was on fire. Like he had 150+ yards rushing the game. It was just, and he was the denominator. He was the common denominator. He neutralized Ohio State. As soon as Ohio State started to figure something out, he would bust out a big run and break their back. So big win for Oregon.
Let me ask you this, Banks, real quick. Do you think Oregon would have won this game if Verdell didn't have the performance that he had? Do you believe in Anthony Brown as the new starter for Oregon?
No, I don't think they. Verdell had the game he had because he only won by 7 with him balling the way he did. He only won by 7. So, no, I don't. And I watched enough college football to tell, bro. They wouldn't have lasted had he not had a good game. But Oregon's defense really played well. Like their defense played fantastic. Like they were playing, and that's so surprising with Oregon, right? Like you hear about Oregon playing defense. Like since they got Cristobal there as the head coach, he brought in his guys. They're kind of a defensive first team. Like they're going to play defense now, and then they're going to put up points. So that's so strange.
That's fact.
About defense and Oregon in the same sentence.
That's a fact, though.
Minus 2 defensive starters.
Right.
But they still got a good linebacker core. Boy, those boys stomping. Boy.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing. It's actually interesting seeing, in my opinion, the weakness or the weak point of Ohio State's defense being their linebackers, because they got killed. I mean, first of all, just them sweep plays. They ran them on them. They ran that on them all day long. They ran those on them. They were successful with it. And even just covering out of the flats, they couldn't do that either. So it's interesting seeing that actually being a weak point of their defense coming from Ohio State. But one more point is the head coach of Oregon is Mario Cristobal. At one point he was the head coach of FIU, and at a time when the University of Miami was looking for a head coach,
I was saying that already.
It was lined up for Mario Cristobal because he was one of them coaches. He took a small school and had them overachieve every single year. And it was lined up for the UM to hire him, and they went off and they did what they've been doing, and that's why they're in the situation they're in right now. So they let him go.
But like I told Quincy earlier in our group chat, no, you can't blame anybody but the Miami Hurricanes fans, because Miami Hurricanes fans pretty much demanded, not all, but some of the majority of the fan base, I would probably say 80% of them demanded almost to have Manny Diaz back in Miami. Because remember, Manny Diaz left. I think he was going to Temple. Not Rutgers. Going to Temple. Temple. He went to Temple.
He already had the job.
Rick got fired. They were like, right.
No, Mark Rick wanted him to come back.
Why don't we just bring Manny Diaz back, which by the way, he's a Florida FSU alum, by the way. Why don't we just bring Manny Diaz back? And they brought him in, and here you are. So you can't blame nobody but the fans. They demanded this guy. They wanted him back, and Miami said, "Okay, cool. I want him. We'll bring it." So
that was bad.
Yeah, that was not a good decision.
That was a bad decision. I'd rather them bring back Bush Davis, man.
Because I remember growing up, FIU was, in terms of football, they were a joke. And
they just got a football team about 10 years now.
But I mean, I remember back in the day when they started playing football, they were most well known for getting into a fight with UM. You remember that?
Yeah.
When they got into that huge brawl and half the team got suspended. That was FIU's reputation. And Mario Cristobal actually made them a winning program. And for them to not even really consider him, when honestly the main problem with UM has been the past few years has just been recruiting. They just, for whatever reason, they're literally in the ideal position to get the best recruits in the entire nation, and they fall on their face every single year. A lot of their high-end draft picks transferred over from other colleges. So, man, get together, UM. Not that I'm a UM fan, but get it together, UM.
And right now they're in the battle right now. Appalachian State.
Appalachian State.
You know when you play NCAA football and you play the default team, Appalachian State is the default team.
And the FCS East.
They have a whole bunch of 6-year seniors, 17 6-year seniors on the team. I never saw that in my life.
That's funny.
Yeah,
they got a team full of truck drivers.
What's the score?
They actually have a graduate badge on their chest too.
That is crazy.
What's the score?
Miami's up 19-17 right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
It's too close. It's way too close.
It's too close. Last year they beat them by 50 points.
I keep telling everybody, last year, I'm looking at it now. Last year is not a good basis to go by, in my honest opinion. And I'm not trying to talk crap or anything like that. I know Miami beat Florida State 52-10 last year, but last year
that's not an accomplishment.
I feel like Miami, the football sports last year in general should be a scratch everywhere. It should just be a scratch because the way COVID came in and dominated and took everybody out. And it just didn't really feel like sports last year at all. No crowd.
I disagree. I completely disagree.
Oh, you're gonna say that because the bubble goes.
No.
At the end of the day, nobody wants a Disney ring. We don't want a Disney ring. We want fans in the stadium. We want travel. We want players complaining about travel and time. We want what we want. But yes, sports to me last year was a white, man. It's just.
I don't agree at all. But I understand what you mean, but I don't agree. Not 100%.
It was just different.
Yeah,
this is different.
The only part you disagree about is the NBA part. I guarantee it.
No, the NFL part too. NFL part too.
We had a Super Bowl last year. What do you mean? We had fans in the stadium and everything. The Super Bowl felt like the Super Bowl. Just minus players getting hurt. Nobody was out due to COVID.
We struggled to get there. Let's be real. We struggled to get there. We had to reschedule games. Yeah. We had to put games on Tuesdays and on Wednesdays just for us to get through a full NFL season.
It was completely different last year.
They was playing games every day of the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. I ain't gonna front. I kind of liked it a little bit.
It was interesting. It was interesting. Like it was interesting. Like you just be
game every day.
It was interesting. You used to be home on like a Tuesday and there'd be a game on. Like, yo, what is going on right now? But we'll see. I mean, the college football season is still young, but we have a very good idea of who we're going to see at the end. So we'll see.
Oh, I have something to say real quick, just pertaining to college football, especially who is their strength coach? They look scrawny as hell.
Yeah,
nobody looks big. Nobody has no muscle definition, no nothing. You notice that, right? It just looks like they straight out of high school, man. It just looks terrible. But okay, back to regular schedule program.
I mean,
I tell you, there's two teams that look like they're going to take care of business every week. That's Alabama and the University of Georgia.
Yeah,
Georgia. I tell people, just like I said last year, if the University of Georgia can somehow find a way to beat Alabama this year, and they can win out and beat Alabama, because their test is Alabama. Nobody else is going to get Georgia. Maybe Florida is going to give Georgia a run for their money. But the way Florida looking so far to be the first two games of the season too, they're giving up 20 points today to USF. They're going to have a hard time stopping Georgia. It's going to have and Florida got a very big game next week. They play Alabama next week, so
yeah.
Good luck.
Where's the game?
I'm not sure where it's at.
I'm not sure it's there,
but the game is wherever Alabama's going. It don't matter if Alabama's at home or and where Alabama's at.
I don't know about Florida games because they're gonna sell that mug out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Florida. Florida sold out. Florida sold out every game.
Already sold out already.
Yeah, Florida got the next 10 years of games sold out already.
I don't know about that one. If they'll play UM in Miami, yeah.
They first of all, the swamp is always full.
I know
it's always full. Yeah, their fans are completely loyal.
Yeah, you know what? The funny thing about the University of Florida is, they most loyal fans didn't even go to that school.
It's true.
All right, gentlemen, we're gonna shift the focus to back to the NFL. Havoc and Quinte, y'all missed the Dallas Cowboys and Tampa Bay Buccaneers watch party that me and G Money and Banks had. At the end of the game, we was about to end up having a debate, but we was going to be lip type about Dak Prescott's performance. Especially me and Banks have a disagreement with his performance versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Can I go first real quick?
Yeah, you go first.
Yes, go ahead, Quinte. Go ahead, go first. Your thoughts on Dak Prescott's performance versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I want to ask Banks a question. Why do you want to trade Ezekiel Elliott because he threw for 400 and something yards and they still lost?
Somebody asked me a question.
Yeah.
It's kind of static in my end. I'm not sure why. Say it again.
I said, why do you want to trade away Ezekiel Elliott because Dak had 400 yards passing?
Because Ezekiel, like I keep saying for the last 2 years in a row now, and I want to make sure people remember because we've been doing this pod for a very long time now. I was a fan of Ezekiel Elliott up until 2 years ago. And that 2 years means since he got his money. Ezekiel Elliott has not looked like the same player since he got paid. And that's just been the dark cloud hanging over the running backs. Is as soon as you get them some money, which is why teams are hesitating and paying all this money, because as soon as you get them some money, they're all of a sudden their skills seem to diminish. I am aware.
Le'Veon Bell.
Right, a lot of
Actually, real quick, Banks, because I remember we had this discussion 2 years ago about Melvin Gordon and him getting paid by the Chargers, and you wanted him to get paid.
Right, absolutely, right. Because that's what I'm saying. That's what
his
I'm
problem is
saying.
injury, it's not performance. So
right. I don't want nobody to feel like I'm just picking on Ezekiel Elliott, but I'm thinking about the business side of things. Dallas has a serious cap issue right now, a series of cap issues, and Ezekiel Elliott contributed to that cap issue. So, in my honest opinion, why not count your loss with Ezekiel Elliott and get something, maybe a lower draft pick, maybe a second, maybe a first. You get that's a first round draft pick with Ezekiel Elliott. Somebody has spent a first round draft pick on his stock. His stock is still high. It's just for some reason he just does not look like Ezekiel Elliott, even running on Thursday night. Even though he was playing against the best run defense in the last 2 years in a row, he just doesn't look the same.
I'm gonna say this to you, man. He had 11 carries. He is a 6 foot tall, 230-pound back. You don't give that type of back 11 carries. Most backs like that, I can count on my hands plenty of times. Even take Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry will have 30 yards at halftime. By the end of the game, he has 250.
Take Jordan Howard.
I'm not gonna say Howard Jordan. Right?
Howard Jordan.
Howard Jordan.
Yeah.
But my thing is, you gotta. To me, it was times in the game they should have ran the ball. They didn't run it.
Yeah.
Even if it's
that's all play calling.
Yeah, I'm
right,
sorry. Right. I know they want Dak to be a superstar. It's beautiful, but Dak needs help. Dak is not that kind of quarterback. He's gonna get you yards. He's a good passer of the ball. I give you that, but he's not that kind of quarterback. He needs help, bro. He needs help.
My question for the most part is where I'm questioning Dallas is, and Ezekiel Elliott too, is I feel like Ezekiel Elliott has some type of durability issue because at one point of the game in the second quarter, I don't know if you remember me and you were talking about that. Remember we were saying, where is Ezekiel Elliott? For a majority of that second quarter, we didn't even see Ezekiel Elliott in the game. And then it was rumored when one of the guests stopped by, I think they mentioned that Ezekiel Elliott had some type of ankle injury or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And then we were like, well, when did he get hurt? Like, when did he, if there's an ankle injury, when did it happen in preseason or something? Because he didn't play the preseason. So where does the ankle injury come from? So that's also something else. Because I'm telling y'all, something's not right with Dallas and Ezekiel Elliott. Something's not right. Something's not there, bro. He's not the same guy.
I think the main issue is you have Ezekiel Elliott, who is when he's in shape, he is a premier runner, and he's also possibly the best pass blocking running back in the league. So there's really no reason to take him off the field.
Right.
And you're paying him all this money, but you don't want to feature him. So from like an organizational standpoint, you gave the money to the quarterback, the wide receiver, and the running back, but you seem to only want to pass the ball, right? Like just on a very basic level, they don't want to commit to the run, although they've invested the capital into the offensive line and the running back. So at a certain point, it appears to be like an organizational disconnect between the way that the team, the way that the coach is utilizing the team versus the pieces that he has. Because ever since Dak Prescott's come on the scene, I don't know what it is, but every single time a coach comes across Dak Prescott, they want him to throw the ball 50 times a game. That's not the recipe for success.
It's not.
It's not the recipe for success.
So hold on. Wait. Let me just say something. 11 times for Ezekiel Elliott, that's not enough. 20 or more times he should carry the ball.
Minimum, 20 minimum.
20 minimum, but just to get
Jordan
to that.
Howard could get
Jordan Howard is only what do you expect? What he said when he split the carries with Tony Pollard too. You got to remember that too. So he's not gonna always. You know what I mean? Because Tony Pollard took a couple of his carries away too. Tony Pollard played.
That's not how it works with a back like Zeke, though.
Okay, but let me just say something about Dak. When we were watching the game, in the beginning of the game, his throws were a little short, a little behind. He seemed a little nervous, or like, I don't know if it was his shoulder, but as the game progressed, he got better and better. I don't think he was the sole reason why the Cowboys didn't win. But I always said, if he throws the ball more than 40 times, they're not going to win. And what happened? They didn't win. He needs to stay in between 25 and 35 times. And Ezekiel Elliott needs to run the ball at least 20 times minimum. That's the recipe for the Cowboys to win, in my opinion.
Yeah, they need more balance. They need balance. I mean, that's pretty much it.
For once, I'm going to sit here and agree with Banks as far as Dak Prescott throwing the ball 50 times. He was very efficient, but them 3 times you was in the red zone, you didn't punch the ball in. And we can't make the excuse for the defense because the defense did what they were supposed to do. We didn't count the Hail Mary interception, but they had 3 turnovers that set up the Dallas offense in perfect field position to go up on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and run away.
Yeah, but were those turnovers but just the credit to part of your on that? But those turnovers that happened, were they actual takeaways or it was
it doesn't matter. A takeaway is a takeaway.
I'm just saying,
when the opposing team makes a mistake, it doesn't matter. When the opposing team makes a mistake, you're supposed to capitalize it. No, it don't matter. What you mean? No, it don't. What you being all sincere for? When my foot is on your throat, I'm not gonna be sincere about putting my foot on your throat. You done. That's it.
But that's all Dak's fault. That's all his fault.
Yeah, whose fault?
There was a lot of drop passes by the Cowboys receivers. A lot.
No, we're not making it. Yes, I'm saying that you can't make that excuse. You had the takeaways. We can't make the excuse for the Dallas defense. That's the number one point. Yeah, everybody's saying the Dallas defense is terrible. We don't know what we're gonna get out of Dallas's defense. They showed up. They got the 3 turnovers. Takeaways.
That's the thing, though. They didn't. So, bro, like,
what are you talking about? They had 3 takeaways. 3 takeaways. You kicked 2 field goals. Excuse me, you missed 3 field goals.
Let me ask a more reasonably minded person question. Let me ask Happy. Happy, do you understand the point I'm making here with the giveaway, the takeaway thing?
So the thing with the Cowboys is their defense played as well as you could expect their defense to play. And in my opinion, if the Dallas Cowboys give up 31 points at Tampa Bay, I mean, you can't exactly call it a win, but they didn't exactly get their doors blown off either.
That's true.
Now the takeaways. Listen, the Dallas Cowboys, the 2021 Dallas Cowboys are going to have to learn that the defense is going to give up points, but they're also going to get takeaways as well. So they're going to have to generate a lot of offense. Now the problem is,
which is what I said. Which is what I said to DeVore as well. If Dallas gets turnovers, they compete. They can stay in a lot of games.
The problem,
you're not
real quick. Shout out to Fist Sanity in the chat.
Yeah, I think the main issue is just the balance. Because outside of scoring points, you need to keep. If you know your defense, look, the Dallas Cowboys defense is very much a bit. You know, they want to be a bend
but don't break.
Don't break, right? Because they don't. You know, they have great talent, but collectively they're not a good defense. So they have to run the ball just to keep the defense off of the field, just so they can just to keep them fresh as possible. And you have the running back to do it. You know, it's like even like DeVore was talking about the red zone. You know, even if they know Ezekiel Elliott's coming, so what? He is a premier running back. Find a way to get him into the end zone. You just can't throw the ball all the time.
And that's another point to the game plan. Like they gave Tom Brady way too much time, and everybody knows what's going to happen. He's going to take him downfield for a field goal or a touchdown. Like this has been done so many times for the past almost 20 years. Like you got to run the clock down more than what you did.
Wait a minute. Well, hold on. You just
that's the play calling. That's not just
brought something to my attention now.
I wanted to say that too. On that too.
So you win the time of possession battle, you win the turnover battle, but you don't win the game. How does that make sense?
It makes no sense when you think about it.
Okay, then. So why you lose? Why did you lose? Tell me why you lost.
It's not Dak's fault. You're trying to blame everything on Dak.
I didn't say that was Dak's fault. I didn't say that was Dak's fault. But y'all want to put the responsibility on the defense of why the Dallas Cowboys lose.
Oh, no, I didn't say that.
But everybody says that. Everybody
We didn't
says
say
it.
that, bro. We said the Dallas Cowboys.
But you're in the red zone. Why are you not putting points on the board?
Okay,
that is the point.
Okay, DeBoer. So every time you get to the red zone, you score. Like, do you hear yourself right now? It's you.
What did I say? What did I say when the Green Bay Packers lost the conference championship? What did I say?
It was Aaron Rodgers' fault. It was Aaron Rodgers' fault.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I
that.
said. So the same rules apply to this particular situation. You are the quarterback. I don't care what the game plan was. You got to punch it in when your team gets them takeaways.
11 carries? Come on, man. That's Dak's fault. 11 carries? Come on.
I didn't say it was the Dak's fault, but the
No,
Dallas
no.
Cowboys offense in general, you need to capitalize on those takeaways.
But
That's what it is.
Let me say this real quick. It was times when Tom Brady had the ball, he had a pass play called. He audible to a run play.
Yeah.
That's what Dak does not know how to do. He wants to throw the ball 50 times a game.
And
that
you know,
doesn't work.
I think
It doesn't work,
an
bro.
interesting to look at. An interesting thing to look at is how many called run plays did Dak audible into passing plays?
Yes.
Right? Like, I mean, let's keep it a buck. I mean, Dak has not found a passing play he won't call at any given time. That's who he is, right? He is the new era Kirk Cousins, right? He has not found a run play he will not audible out of, right?
It's almost like that Seattle situation where clearly give the ball to Marshawn Lynch at the 1, but no, he wants to be the hero.
He's the new era Kirk Cousins, man. Every time you look at him, the yards are there, the touchdowns are there,
but no wins.
But you're looking for the wins, you're looking for the achievement, you're looking for the team success. You don't see a lot of it.
See, I'm so glad there's a humble Dallas Cowboys fan in the comment section. Shout out to Sunset in the comment section. It does not make any sense. But back to Dak Prescott. Banks, you got to just come to the realization to stop making excuses for this dude.
Okay, wait, hold on. What's your grade? What would you grade him for that game? I would say
I'll give him a B plus.
I give him A minus for that game.
I'll give him a B. Give him a B.
I'll give him a B plus. But real fast.
Is that a curve?
It's not a curve, but real fast. You can't beat elite caliber teams. You can only beat down sub 500 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point are you going to ascend and be the quarterback that Banks wants you to be?
Let's look, man. It's not a matter of Dak.
Listen.
Yeah, it's not a matter of Dak.
I know what DeBoer is trying to. I know what DeBoer.
Dak is not the problem.
2 years ago, you
Dak
lost
is
to
not
the
a
Jets.
problem.
You lost to the Jets 2 years ago in
I would
New
say
York.
I would say he's part of the problem. I'm gonna say he's the full problem. That's all. He's part of the problem.
No. I think the issue is I don't know if Dak has had head coaches with experience. I don't know if he's had a good head coach yet in his career because, but who was Jason? It was Jason Garrett first, right? Jason Garrett been a head coach for 15 years, but still not sure if Jason Garrett's a head coach. Then we got Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl early. What has Mike McCarthy done since winning the Super Bowl early?
He's an offensive coordinator. I don't think he should be a head coach, but that's my opinion.
Come on, man. He won a Super Bowl.
He's not a bad coach. He's a pushover. That's his problem.
We know who the coach is for the Dallas Cowboys.
What type of personality of a head coach does Jerry Jones want?
A pushover.
Right?
A person like him.
Jimmy Johnson came in saying we're gonna do things like this and like that. And Jerry Jones said, "You know what? I think it's about time you left." Bill Parcells did very similar. We're gonna do things my way. Jerry Jones said, "You know what? I think we're gonna go in a different direction, man. Bring these pushovers in."
What was who was the coach after Barry Switzer? That's his name, right?
Yeah,
Barry Switzer.
Squad.
Yeah,
it was going 6 and 8.
Yeah, he was a pushover. He was a coach that he just did everything Jerry said. When somebody challenges Jerry, it's better for the Cowboys. Actually, if you think about it, but Jerry's just so demanding. They don't last. Yeah,
they don't last.
Yeah. Well, it's a matter of organizational structure. I mean, that's the way Jerry likes it, right? He wants to be Geppetto. He wants to be the puppet master. He doesn't want to be Stephen Ross, a guy who just cuts checks. Right, he wants to be Geppetto.
Don't just cut checks. He whispers in the general manager's ear about players he was.
You are lying.
That's one time.
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are.
That
That's
one
one
time
time.
was pivotal. That one time is pivotal.
So I'm
Outside
gonna
of
say
that,
that I'm gonna
Go
say
ahead.
this about that Prescott, man, because I know what DeVore is trying to accomplish. At the end of the day, I'm gonna take away what I'm gonna take away from the game was I grade that Prescott as a form of soft A. I'll put it more of a B plus than anything, but it's a soft A. At the end of the day, we got a guy that did not play football in over a year. He came in against, like I said, before the game even started. This wasn't an ideal game for Dallas to take. I don't know why the schedule makers made this happen, but for them to play the defending Super Bowl, defending Super Bowl
See how we move
champion
the
with Tom Brady
goalposts?
at
We move the
quarterback.
goalposts
Let
every
me
time. I tell you.
no, it's not. We're not gonna move the goalposts. I'm just gonna bring up a few points. I want to bring up a few points before I get to my point. But I just want to make sure that be known that Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl. Meanwhile, Josh Rosen is barely making a roster.
See what I'm saying? So now we talking about Dak
Ah.
Prescott. We talking about Dak Prescott. Now you want
But
to
hold on, I'm talking about Dak.
Hey,
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there because this is about Dak. At the end of the day,
he just needs
Dak
a chance,
played
man.
a great game. Yeah.
Hey, you said this wasn't a great matchup. This wasn't a great matchup for the Cowboys.
With a bad matchup. Right.
Next
I,
week.
Along with 81% of the voters, thought that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were going to blow the Dallas Cowboys out. We all thought it. So credit to Dallas, the defense, Dak, everybody. This is a good game. This is a good game for them. They needed it. Let's see what they do next week. When they play next week, we'll see.
They go on 0-2 next week. On 0-2. They're not beating the Chargers in LA. That's not gonna happen.
We'll see. The game
We'll see.
I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see Tennessee versus the Cardinals. I want to see Tennessee versus the Cardinals. That's what I want to see. I want to see how
That's
many
what this
passes
hater wanna watch.
Ryan Tannehill throws. I want to see how many passes touchdown Ryan Tannehill throws.
It don't matter.
But he's gonna throw those 25 to 30
Let's see.
passes.
And win the game.
They're going to be under.
And win the
They're going to
game.
be under 9
25 to
yards.
30 times.
Everything.
I'm just being honest with you, bro. That's not winning formula. You can't let a quarterback throw the ball 50 times.
No. You can't let that quarterback, Dak Prescott, throw the ball 50 times. Other quarterbacks can.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. It's so we're giving credit to a quarterback that threw for over 400 yards and you lose credit? Like what is that?
No,
that's what Banks been doing. He been doing that. He been saying that since last year when they played the 5 games. Dak was on pace to have it over 1,000 yards in the first 3 weeks. But did you win? No, you did not win. So if you're not winning, what is the point?
It doesn't matter.
What is the point?
It's interesting. I mean, I think the Tannehill formula, Derrick Henry run the ball 25 to 30 times.
It ain't the Tannehill formula. It's the Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott formula.
Derrick Henry run the ball 25 to 30 times. And now the quality of his targets has increased because now he's throwing to A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. I mean, if you're looking at if you want to see what balance looks like, take a look at the Tennessee Titans this year. They're gonna have it down pat.
They need to bring out some Dallas Cowboys 2016 film and see what it looked like, because that's where the Tennessee Titans got it from. But we can't do it in Dallas.
They did get it from that.
Then why didn't the Cowboys stick with it?
That's their problem. I don't care.
Because they want Dak to be the savior.
DeVore.
They worth $250 million. Why not?
Quick question for DeVore before you move to the next segment. Who was the Dallas Cowboys quarterback for that Prescott took over?
Tony Romo.
We need the milk.
Okay, all right. And what all did Tony Romo accomplish?
Need the milk.
A lot more than what Dak Prescott doing for them.
Need the milk.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. When Tony Romo was playing for the Dallas Cowboys, the NFC East was a lot more competitive than what it is right now.
Yeah, it was at that time, but they were still beating each other.
Yeah,
the black and blue division. It was the black and
better
blue
division back then. Yeah,
It was a better division. Like, just look about the quarterbacks you had in that division. You had Donovan McNabb, Eli Manning, hot and cold, and you have the Washington Redskins at the time, where I don't even know how many quarterbacks they had in that span. But Tony Romo was sufficient enough with the Dallas Cowboys. And at the same time, I feel like Dallas Cowboys fans don't give Tony Romo enough credit because at the end of his
He
career,
doesn't deserve
that's
it.
that's when they decided to run the football.
Did you say that Dallas Cowboys fans don't give Tony Romo enough
No,
credit?
imagine if Tony Romo had Ezekiel
Wrong with this
Elliott
guy.
and that offensive line that he got right now. He wouldn't be looked upon as a choke artist in the fourth quarter. I'm pretty sure.
he still would have been playing if he hadn't been on.
Yeah, like
Yeah, he definitely would have still been playing. He definitely still would have been playing.
like his body broke, bro. Like what do you? Ain't nothing you can do about that.
But but like I said, they put so much on Tony Romo's plate back then. They didn't have a running back that could carry the load like Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, DeMarco Murray. Like I think they went to the divisional round. Yeah, the divisional round.
McMahon had a good season.
Marion Barber.
Yeah, but big bats like that don't last long. He's just a battering around.
Yeah.
Zeke has some shake to him.
So if you would have just limited Tony Romo to throwing the ball 25 times a game, I would have guaranteed that the Cowboys would have been in the playoffs every single season. You forget when the Denver Broncos, when they went to go face the Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning, when they right now have the best offensive team in NFL history. I believe they set the record for most points scored. He went head to head with Peyton Manning that game.
I mean, I think the interesting thing is the Dallas Cowboys had the most success when they ran the ball in the 90s.
Yeah,
It was a strong offensive line, and Emmitt Smith was the catalyst of their entire offense. If you look at Troy Aikman's stats,
He was a game manager.
They're not particularly impressive, right?
No, not at all.
So like they basically had the formula, but Jerry's gonna do things the way Jerry wants to do things, and he got the former quarterback to be the head coach, and
oh my God,
that's the way they run the offense. Everything was tilted towards throwing the ball versus ball control or a balanced offense, with the exception of a handful of years where they didn't have the option of throwing the ball around the yard all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to look at the Dallas, we could talk about Dak. Dak is not the problem. Jerry Jones is the problem. But Jerry has always
not the problem.
Jerry Jones is the problem.
Jerry Jones has always been a problem.
Oh no, we're not gonna put
100%
100% on Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones is the owner, so you can't fire the owner. But ultimately,
he's the owner, GM, president, player. He's all that. He wants to be all that.
He has no business being a GM.
I know.
He's had no business being a GM for a long time. But hey, when you own the team, you call the shots.
To be honest with you, I feel I like the way Jerry. Well, the last couple of years, I feel like it's been Stephen Jones getting the ingredients for the team, but they have done an excellent job as far as bringing in hitting on their draft picks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean,
offensive line.
But I mean, I think the main issue is they do hit on their draft picks, but they leave certain positions. They leave the cupboards bare.
Cornerback, safety,
particularly when you talk, the entire secondary, basically, right? Like the if you look at the best defensive backs the Cowboys have had, let's say the past decade was what? Byron Jones and Roy Williams.
Don't say Roy Williams. Don't
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'll put Anthony Henry in.
Come on, now we're scraping the bottom of the barrel when we say Anthony Henry. You know what I mean? Now we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Terrence Newman, come on now.
No, come on, stop it. Terrence Newman was getting beat every game. Come on.
Terrence Newman played for the Dolphins. Did Terrence Newman play for the Dolphins?
I think he did. Yeah, didn't he?
I don't think so.
I don't remember seeing Brian. I don't remember seeing Terrence Newman. I remember seeing Byron Maxwell. He was the only other cornerback that wear long sleeves.
I remember
But outside of the defensive back position, the Dallas Cowboys have done a fairly decent for the pass rushing too as well. I feel like that's the only issue that they have is drafting. They have a terrible job drafting pass rushers too as well. Missing out on Taco Charlton, Randy Gregory still a question mark. I don't believe the hype in DeMarcus Lawrence, to be honest with you. I just feel like he's just a little flash in the pan. Since he got his money, he's been fairly quiet. So
the Cowboys spend their picks mostly in recent memory on the offensive line. So trying to get a running game going. But how are you going to get a running game if you're going to give your running back 11 times? Like they have to change that. Whoever put that game plan was terrible.
But
he
also,
needs to run the ball more.
If you watch the game, Tampa Bay is going to be able to do this all season long. They've been able to get pressure up the middle with no help.
Yeah,
with no help, just getting pressure.
Just using that front four.
You got Vita Veda. You got Vita Vea and the Duncan Sue. You should do that every snap.
I mean,
every snap.
So
what kind of defense they play? They play a 4-3, right?
3-4.
Yeah.
Or play a 3-4.
No, they play 4-3.
They have both.
It's a hybrid defense.
They play both.
It's a hybrid defense.
Yeah.
Hybrid defense.
Yeah, they're hybrid.
Mm.
That's Todd Bowles for you, man.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Week 1 is upon us. Less than 24 hours away. I know me, G Money, and Havoc had the discussion. G Money and Banks had the discussion on Wednesday as far as betting odds is concerned. I know Quinte kind of came in and crashed the party when I made that comment that the Dolphins are going to
Yeah, man. I had your card is revoked after the game.
Hey, we being 100. We are being 100.
You better drop that link as soon as the game is over.
Oh, okay. I want to see y'all too.
All right, we definitely gonna get into it. I'm seeing Jonnu Smith getting about 100.
Bro, what is this guy talking about?
That's what I'm talking about.
Havoc, go ahead, man. Go Havoc. You're the only one that haven't voiced your opinion on the game, so go ahead and do your thing.
What is this guy talking about? I mean, look. If you're just saying, even if you're trying to be objectionable, the smart money is on the Dolphins, right? Like the smart money is on the Dolphins. They are, if you just look at the progress of a franchise, right? The New England Patriots more or less they've been in the no man's zone, right? Not quite bad enough to get a high end pick, but not quite good enough to really threaten for anything. In my opinion, they're still there, right? They're still in purgatory, right?
Mm-hmm.
As particularly, you have a rookie quarterback, and look, even if you have the greatest rookie quarterback in the world, still a rookie. He's still gonna make a ton of mistakes. Still gonna, all that type of stuff. He's not gonna maximize his potential year one, right? Now they do have a solid defense. They have a solid offensive line, but ultimately, he's a rookie quarterback with no wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the allure, the aura around Bill Belichick, although his place in history is cemented, his ability to and when I look at it, I look at the Matt Castle year that New England had. Their defense was like extra on point. Like they led the league in turnover and takeaways that year. So when I look at I just look at the Patriots and I just see kind of a team that's a little bit in purgatory. They're well coached, but they're not particularly well talented enough. They don't have the catalyst there to stir the drink. So
and also this is go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, they're just kind of in no man's land. And the Dolphins, we know what the Dolphins defense is, right? We know what the Dolphins defense is. We don't know what it is.
We do. They've been together for a year already. They've been together.
We don't know what it is. It's a brand new year. We don't know what it is.
The majority of the defense, the chemistry
is there.
We don't know what it is.
The majority of the players and the defensive coordinator have come back.
Exactly.
So we know what the defense is. Now the offense is going to take a step forward, just by the fact that all the players that they drafted last year have another year of experience in the bag. So the smart money's on the Dolphins to win this game. Of course, the Patriots are going to make it muddy. They're going to make it dirty. They're going to try and just try and run all the clock out. But I like the Dolphins.
You got a score? You can predict the score or no? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll say I'm gonna give it 27-17.
Well, by 10. Okay.
Yeah. 27-17.
Go ahead, Quinte. What you got?
The war, you tripping, man. you thinking this like he's a quarterback that been in the league for 2 years, but he was on the bench developing. No, he's a rookie. Never played in a regular season game with live bullets. That's my only thing. It's like, come on now, dude.
But hold on, I got a question. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, my fault. The defense is going to be on point. It's Bill, but you got to count on the chemistry they're going to have. Are they going to have the chemistry to play together? You can put a whole bunch of superstars on one team and don't do diddly squat with it. It don't matter. You got to have that chemistry. That's my takeaway.
I got a question for DeVore, though. I got a question. Is it more that you just don't believe in Tua, or you got more faith in the Patriots? Like, which one is it?
The Patriots are at home, and Dolphins don't play well in Foxborough.
Yeah, but that's a different time, bro. That's a
No, it's
different
not.
time.
No, it's not. There's a reason why. It's a reason why the New England Patriots play well at home.
I'm just trying to understand your logic of picking the Patriots. That's all.
He has no logic. He doesn't.
There is definitely logic to it. Like
I feel as though you still hurt from the past, and you don't. Like
I'm not hurt from the past. I am not. I've been sitting here. Quinte, you and Banks maybe at the same time. How many times when I made a preview video? How many times did I take the opposing team?
No, not too many times.
Never.
One of the first people I started watching on YouTube.
Never. I never picked them. This time I'm picking the Patriots.
I can't do it. They just don't have enough talent. I mean, I think the Patriots are at a point where they've running on fumes a little bit, you know? The defense is fine, but the rest, like that offense looks like they need Tom Brady, because it looks like one of the past 5-year offenses where Bill Belichick, he done took all the money away from the offense, even though Tom Brady done gave him a free $10 million off the top of his salary to do, make the team better. And almost every single time, Bill Belichick puts that money into the defense. And now Bill Belichick has to reanalyze the way he commits his resources, because you just can't give Mac Jones spare parts and hope for a Cadillac. He's not Tom Brady.
We got two tight ends, dominant tight ends. They'll be all right.
So you're telling me the Patriots can't run the ball, win time of possession, and keep the ball away from the Dolphins' offense to win like a close, muddy defensive game?
They got to. They can run the ball.
Like a 17-10 or 17-14 low-scoring game. They're not capable of that.
Well, for some particular reason, Havoc and Quinte keep sleeping on the New England Patriots defense. I think they're better than the Dolphins defense, to be honest. And again, they have a Hall of Fame head coach on the sideline where Brian Flores came from New England. So I don't understand why we are writing off the New England Patriots. Hey, I get it. At home, I'm taking the Dolphins. But considering how we're playing in Foxborough, and there's so many question marks as far as the quarterback position, and I'm just weighing the two defenses, I'm taking New England.
I'm okay, but the Dolphins defense has played together for one full season. Now they're still back. They got that chemistry. So I don't know how you see Patriots are better than the Dolphins defense in their chemistry. I don't know. Plus now getting Howard back, they're more motivated because now they feel like they got their guy. So,
but that's not what the game plan is going to be. They're not going to throw the ball on the outside. That's not going to be the game plan.
Yeah, but you need balance though. Like the Dolphins are going to take away.
They got balance. That's what Jonnu and Hunter Henry is for. Who is checking Hunter Henry and who is checking Jonnu? And then, of course,
Eric Rowe.
We got Nick Needham and Eric Rowe.
Man, Quinte, you play football enough. Nick Needham is 6 feet tall, weighs about 212 pounds, and you expect him to go out there and take a 6'5", 265-pound tight end?
Okay. I'm gonna say this to you. You can put Nick Needham on Jonnu.
You're not doing that.
Put Eric Rowe on Hunter Henry. Do you not know he shut down Hunter Henry last year when he played for the Chargers, right? You're right. You remember that, right? We played the Chargers last year. He demolished them. And he didn't do diddly squat against us. He was one of the tight ends he shut down. Mm-hmm. That's what you're not remembering. Yeah. It's like I don't understand your logic.
That's how.
But
that's how Eric Rowe has. That's what Eric Rowe's reputation is hinged on the past few years, is his ability to shut down tight ends.
Okay, y'all being too much of homers right now.
We watched the games, DeVore.
Y'all being too much of a homer right now.
You know this is what Eric Rowe does. This is what Eric Rowe does.
I know what Eric Rowe does, but he did that when he was in a Charger uniform. Now
No,
he's
he
in a
did-
New England
Here we
Patriot
go.
uniform.
Now that he's got Mac Jones thrown to him, he's going to come on now. Are you even listening to yourself? Are you even
I'm listening to
yourself?
myself,
Like-
but y'all
like-
keep on discrediting
The
the New England
Patriots,
Patriots.
the Patriots' best wide receiver is N'Keal Harry, and we don't even know if he's a
So
starter.
why
We don't even know if he's really a starter.
Why did we lose to them last year?
Did you not see Landon Roberts get chokeslammed?
He's gonna be playing again today tomorrow,
Bro,
who else is playing?
You are well aware. You are well aware of why we lost Week 1 last season.
Why?
Cam Newton ran for about 100 and something yards
Yes.
on his own.
And that's the other problem. We can't stop the run. So what is it now?
Cam Newton ain't on the team no more.
It don't matter.
It's
It's Mac Jones.
It
It's Mac
doesn't
Jones.
matter. It
Mac
doesn't
Jones
matter.
in his very first start. It's a different team.
We're gonna revisit this 4:30 Eastern time, right?
I think that New England probably could win a game, beat Miami in Miami, but the first game of the season, first game of his career, it's gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna be tough. Not against that Dolphins defense.
It's in
But
Foxborough. I give him the
do you
edge.
not think how many turnovers you think Mac Jones gonna have if he get pressured once or twice?
They won't put him in them type of situations.
What you mean
Okay,
they
I'm
won't?
gonna say, okay, what if we get the ball first? We score on our first 2 drives. That's 14.
So Quinte, this is what I'm confused about. You have a lot of you have like no stock in Mac Jones' ability to play the game, but you
he's
have
a
all the
rookie.
confidence in Tua to be
It's
able
his
to
first
I'm gonna
game
say this.
ever.
It's his
to do
first
what he's
game
supposed to
ever.
do.
I'm gonna say this. I'm thinking logic like a coach. This is his first game ever playing in the NFL. Tua played last year and he got mollywopped. Remember his first series playing, he got mollywopped by Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
What he did, he got up and he played a fairly decent game rest of the game. Am I right or wrong? Right?
You are 100% right, but this is a different quarterback.
Has Mac Jones did that? In
But
college?
listen, the only way the Patriots can win is by controlling the game, short dink and dunk passes, running the ball, time of possession, and making it a muddy defensive game. That's the only way. They're not going to win in the shootout.
Same thing with the Dolphins. It's the
They're not
same
gonna
thing
win
with
in
the
the shootout.
Dolphins.
That's
Okay.
not true. We have better receivers than they do.
Yeah,
Way better.
yeah,
Way better. And
Oh,
Mike
so we just
Gesicki-
forgot that they got J.C. Jackson, they got Jones,
Who?
and they got
Who?
Stephon Gilmore.
Who?
Oh,
I'm gonna
we
say
just
this.
forgot
I'm
Gilmore
gonna
is,
say
but-
this to you. Do you
Wait,
not know
we
who's-
talking about wide receivers. You talking about quarterbacks.
I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
this.
I'm just saying, like they got some defensive guys. Like they're not. What's the term you use?
But
Some dudes out there playing defensive.
No, I said they got some dudes playing wide receiver.
Oh, that's
got-
fine, but they also got some. They got some guys on defense that can check our guys.
But our guys are more. I'm gonna say this to you. They don't have. All right, the person who get raped every year by the Dolphins is Stephon Gilmore. Even when he played for Buffalo,
Yeah,
Devontae Parker used to rape him when he was.
We've
a
had his
rookie.
number.
He was raping.
we've
Yeah.
had his
And
number the
they
past few
got
years.
Mills. Mills is their starting quarterback. Remember the quarterback with the green hair played for the Eagles?
Yep.
He
Mhm.
raped him. He raped that man. You remember that game, right? He was raping him the whole game.
Yep.
And then now you got little fast dudes. Everybody, if you put everybody who run a 4-3 on the field at one time, you think they have enough speed on defense to stop that? I'm gonna say this: their run defense is gonna be on point. I can't take that away from them. But their lateral movement, it is terrible.
Yeah.
Van Noy was on our team. His lateral movement was garbage.
He
He's a
was hurt.
linebacker. I don't want to hear that crap.
Was
man.
he hurt
I'm gonna say
all
this.
season?
He was
Yes.
hurt. Yes. No, he wasn't, bro.
He was hurt the whole
I'ma say
season.
this. I'ma say this
After
to you.
week 3, he was
Oh,
hurt.
man.
I'm gonna say this to you, bro. I know for a fact some people, I know they was hurt. They go out there and win Super Bowl, get Super Bowl winning interceptions, run it back, play for the Patriots. Down here partying in Broward County. Come on now, dude. You tripping.
Yeah.
How you
I mean,
tripping?
I mean,
don't want to
let's-
hear that. You get paid all this money.
Kyle Van
Oh,
Noy
yeah,
looked
you-
a lot like Koamisi last season.
Hey,
I'm gonna say
watch
this. Cool.
it.
I
Watch
like
your mouth.
Kobe.
Watch
I
your
like
mouth,
him too.
Havoc.
I like him
Watch
too, but
it,
he is who
watch
he
it,
I like
Havoc.
is.
Kobe.
I like him too, but he is who he is.
That's my
Yeah.
boy. That's my boy, Cole. You ask him to do anything, and he'll do it.
No.
But Corey Meese was a defensive end, but he shouldn't have been a linebacker.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been a linebacker, but that's my boy though. You asked him to go ahead, be a middle linebacker for us.
I understand, but
be
they
an
brought
outside
in
4-3 linebacker for us.
They brought in Van Noy to be that guy, and he ended up being a guy.
Not guy, because he was getting burnt and getting ran over by Cam Newton and Josh Allen. Come on now, dude. You are 6'4", 250 pounds. Get ran over by a quarterback. I don't care how big the quarterback is, bro. He got ran over 2 times.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on now, dude.
He definitely gonna be hungry since he got cut by the Dolphins.
He could be bitter all he want. I'm gonna say this to you. If you've been in the league more than 3 years, you shouldn't be bitter when you get cut, bro. This is a business. This okay. Take my job. If they fire me, I don't care. Just make sure you give me my $100,000 in my 401k and all my vacation hours. I'm good. You understand what I'm saying? That's all I care about, bro. You can fire me. I can go get another job. It's okay.
I mean, look, and I think it's just because it's the Patriots, because it's Bill Belichick, don't nobody ever want to say it, but they are creeping up very quickly on a rebuild.
Yeah,
and I understand they got Gilmore and they kept a lot of their defense intact, and it's a veteran group, but they're rebuilding. They just don't want to. They just want to say that they're rebuilding, but come next offseason, that expensive little secondary they got with Gilmore and the other McCourty, boy, they're not going to be around much longer.
Yes, you gotta understand they 30 plus.
Yes,
like everybody. The oldest person on defense is Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And they still 27.
I agree with you. We gonna wait. We gonna see tomorrow after the game. We definitely gonna see tomorrow after the game. Now, no chickening out when I put the bat signal up. Now,
hey, hold on. Hey, listen. I'm gonna just say this: if the Patriots find a way to win this game, we gonna hear so much shit from Divorce. So much shit. Just be ready.
He's not a Dolphin fan.
I'm not going. Why would I talk shit about my team losing? Why would I do that?
Well,
because it's you.
You're more of Adam.
Why would I do that?
You're more of an Adam Gase fan than a Dolphins fan.
I feel it right here, G Buddy. I feel it right here. Something ain't right about this game, and the Dolphins fans are just getting a little bit too cocky. We gonna go in there in Foxborough, and we're gonna stomp out the Patriots.
I'm not saying we're gonna go out there and we're gonna win by 35, but we're gonna win.
I didn't say you have it. I'm just saying what Quinte sent me. Yeah, I'm just saying that.
I think it's going to be a clear win for the Dolphins. That's what I think.
Oh, okay, we're gonna find out after the game tomorrow. We're gonna find out. But last topic of discussion, since we on a conversation about the New England Patriots, Cam Newton came out and did an interview with his father. You can check out the interview. I'll make sure I leave the link in the description.
Oh man,
about his
Jackson.
The reason why he ended up getting released from the New England Patriots. Now, I copied down the quote, and it says he didn't think that Mac Jones would be comfortable with him being a backup, being the backup, as in Cam Newton being the backup.
Man, that is a bunch of. You can't. You know how Public Enemy in the late '80s said, "Don't believe the hype."
Yeah.
Well, with Cam Newton, it's called "Don't Believe the Hat." It's not about Mac Jones is going to be uncomfortable with me as the backup quarterback. That is a smokescreen. Cam Newton is uncomfortable with being a backup. Mac Jones is uncomfortable with him being that. Cam Newton don't know how to be a backup. Cam Newton has been a starter since the day he picked up a football. He has been a starter. He has been that guy. And I think he's in a place in his career where talent-wise, and this is just the effect, the wear and tears of an NFL career. Talent-wise, he can't really throw the ball. He can throw the ball downfield, but he cannot throw the ball accurately. That is just a fact of life. He can still run the ball, but that's just a fact of life. And I don't think I think he's one of those guys. He's either a starter or he's out the league. I don't think he's a guy. I don't think he's going to Joe Flacco. Sure, I'll be a second string guy. Sure, I'll be a third string. Cam Newton ain't going to be third string for nobody. He ain't going to be a backup for nobody unless he's injured. So this whole, I'm doing everything to make sure that Mac Jones is comfortable. The writing was on the wall, man, because last year Cam Newton's competition was Jarrett Stidham. Is Jarrett Stidham in the league? No, answer this question for me. Is Jarrett Stidham in the league?
He is.
Who's he play for?
He's on the Patriots. He's a third string quarterback.
Oh, because
second string quarterback.
Didn't the Patriots just activated Brian Hoyer, right? Right. So technically, Brian Hoyer, who they just activated, is ahead of Jarrett Stidham on the depth chart, correct?
Yeah. So
that tells you everything you need to know about Jarrett Stidham. So you could very well make the case that Cam Newton won the starting job by default last year, right? He had no competition. So, but now you have Mac Jones, who, by the way, he's a rookie. He has no experience, but he has the skill set, at least passing wise. He probably has a better skill set than Cam Newton does. Now, you may say overall package wise, experience wise, running wise, he has it over Mac. But if I'm looking at the Patriots, they did what they had to do last season. But this year, you got Mac Jones. Writing was on the wall. And the fact that he could potentially be out here missing games because of his vaccination status, that was a nail in the coffin. So, I see what Cam Newton's doing. He's trying to rewrite the narrative. But, you got caught due to lack of talent. I don't know what else to tell you.
That is completely true. And I think that this is going to, hopefully, it doesn't sound like it's humbling him yet, but this should humble him. He should, he wants to be a starter, but your talent has diminished. He's going to be out the league now. I think I've mentioned this a couple Saturdays ago. I think he should just take the backup position just to be in the NFL because he's not a starting quarterback anymore. It's just not in him anymore. His talent has diminished, but his mentality, he's so cocky and so he's not going to take it. So he'd rather be out of the league and not have a job than to be humble. It's crazy. I don't understand it.
And you do not want that mentality from a backup quarterback.
Right.
I feel as though if he take the same role as Logan Thomas for Virginia Tech, switch his position.
Yeah,
he can be the raw as
what?
He could play a big X receiver or a tight end.
He could play a red zone weapon.
I would say play receiver because I don't think he'd be physical enough.
I think you could.
He's physical enough to play tight end.
You could get a package. Kind of like what I think the Jaguars wanted to do with Tebow, where they wanted to bring him in as a tight end, but do other stuff with him. But Tebow was so trash as a tight end, they couldn't even justify calling him that. But with Cam, you could legitimately come up with a package for Cam in the red zone. Because I think in the red zone, if you limit him to the red zone, Cam can be very, very effective still.
All right.
But does Cam want to be Ronnie Brown in the Wildcat? That's the question.
He could be Terrell Pryor.
Terrell Pryor is a wide receiver.
Terrell Pryor was an amazing quarterback in college.
He's a wide receiver.
Who got caught getting his jersey signed and sold it, and now he's a wide receiver.
What was the guy from the Jets? He number 7, I think. Back in he was a quarterback, but a wide receiver.
You talking Marshall from Missouri? I remember.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was good. He was good. To me, at that time, they didn't really want running quarterbacks. If he got to play like Joe Hamilton, Winslow Dantzler from back in the day,
Woody Dantzler, yeah.
If they played today, they'd be playing quarterback. But back in the day, no. They're like, no, black boy, you're gonna play running back or wide receiver, okay? Because think about it, because me personally, I didn't want him to play quarterback when he got drafted. I'm like, man, he should switch a position because he can't throw. People used to think I was a hater. I'm like, he throws shot puts every time. He throws bullet passes every time. He doesn't know how to refine his throwing motion. It's bad. That's just my opinion.
So
His talent is not like.
I'm willing to give Cam Newton the benefit of the doubt. As long as he's on a football team, he would be satisfied. Go out. He seems like the kind of guy to go out and help the young guy, develop him into being a a successful player in the NFL?
Well, we haven't seen it yet, so
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, because G, it sounded like you had a problem with his comment saying that Mac Jones would have been uncomfortable with him being the backup.
That's a lie.
I think that's an excuse. He's trying to Kavik's point change the narrative. He's just not good anymore. He's not a good player anymore. He doesn't want to admit it. Nobody's gonna say I suck. So it's just his pride has been hurt a little bit.
I mean, it's
He
tough.
might have been good from 3 years ago, bro.
It's
He
tough.
haven't been good for 3 years.
He was a Heisman winner, league MVP, started in a Super Bowl. Now he got cut a week before regular season.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's how the game goes. And no one is exempt from the rules of the game. So Cam, he's in a phase of his career where he needs to either embrace the fact that he is the backup plan. Like beforehand when Kyle Allen was playing, it was still Cam's job. It was just Kyle Allen was playing. But now he needs to actually embrace the fact that he is the backup plan. And until he embraces that, he won't be able to
Be in the NFL.
He won't, be in the NFL, but he won't be able to do that type of job effectively. And I think it starts with the mentality. And I think if his mentality currently is that Mac Jones would feel uncomfortable, then he's not taking a real honest look in the mirror. Because the honest truth is, he would be uncomfortable being a backup. Because deep down in Cam Newton's heart, Cam Newton, at no point of the day does Cam Newton believe Mac Jones is better than him. That's a fact. Cam Newton does not believe Mac Jones is better than him. So, and from my understanding, Cam Newton, he ain't too shy when he is not too shy when he believes he knows the truth. So he needs to accept. He needs to go into a place humble and be like, "Hey, it ain't my job." But I don't think Cam Newton's got that in him right now.
If you watch the episode when he was on I Am Athlete, Fred Taylor said, "You think you need to retire?" He said, "Nah." Fred looked at him like, "Nigga, you need to retire."
Yeah.
Do we have any final thoughts before we close this thing out?
Just like every week, peace and love to everybody. Shout out to Banks and Brighton and the boys on the podcast now. Make sure you take a look at No Passes Given. Make sure you check out My Brother's Keeper and Self-Made. And of course, continue to watch Not for Debate and keep going. And that's it.
Yeah. I'll just say, maybe just outside of sports, I will just say, be sure to look out for yourself. Be sure to look out for your mental health. We are in very trying times for a number of reasons. And it's easy to get into certain modes, like just work mode, where you just work and you don't really think about your daily upkeep. Are you eating enough? Are you drinking enough? Are you doing all the things to keep yourself upright? Not just upright, but keep yourself operating at a high level, operating at the best possible level you can. So,
especially for the race.
So, at a certain point, if you need to take a step back and lose a couple dollars, take that step back, because your mental health is something that if you lose it, you cannot get back.
Right.
That's all I got to say.
Well, that's what I got to say. Believe in yourself, trust yourself, and keep believing in yourself, because nobody's going to change nothing in your life until you change it. And you're going to leave some people behind, so be it. That they was there to teach you a lesson for that season, and keep on marching forward. It's for all the young brothers out there who watch this, or young women. You can take this information for yourself, but you always got to believe in yourself, man. You can't take everybody with you.
That was actually pretty beautiful, Quinte. Is that like a back of a book that you just read?
Nah, man. Because I was gonna be. I'm gonna tell you something. I was supposed to be a pastor.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like a really, really Bible toting thumper back in my 20s. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Early 20s, and after that, I became hell spawn.
That's what's up, though. That's what's up. I did want to make a quick announcement. Just a minor accomplishment for the people on the pod. I do appreciate you guys coming up here. We have reached 15,000 views on YouTube. So we are well on our way. For those checking out the pod right now, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button. We're going to continue to grow. I believe we're about to hit 120 subscribers on YouTube. So we well on our way. Less than 10 subscribers just this week. So we definitely actively growing every day. But with that being said, most definitely tomorrow is going to be the first game of the NFL, the first week of the NFL season. So be sure to look out for that. Now we've been contemplating back and forth if we're going to end up doing another watch party tomorrow for the Sunday night football game between the Rams and the Chicago Bears. We still in conversation
discussion
about it. Yeah, we still in discussion because to be honest with you, if the Dolphins do lose, I'm not even gonna feel like we talking for real. But I'm being dead ass serious. Like when the Dolphins lose,
I hear you.
literally cut. I don't even watch football no more. Like I'll be like, cut this off. It's a good thing that it's a 4:30 game because I can watch all the 1 o'clock games, and then once we get to the 4:30 game, it's going to be the last game before the Sunday night game. So yeah, we just look out for the bat signal, as my guy Mace Taggart would say. But with that being said, be sure to go ahead and follow us on our social media pages, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and all other major streaming platforms. This is the Not For The Bay podcast.
Peace.
We're up out of here, man.
Peace.